if you improve 1% better each day, if you do 1 to the exponent of 365, it equals a little over 37%.
Wow.
On the contrary, if you get 1% worse each day, you'll be near 0. So it's about making habits that are positive, but also removing bad habits.
Any stories about how it's worked for you in the professional world or on your teams?
One example is I had a developer who was he was a people pleaser. And so when new requirements would come from business, he would just jump on them. And then he'd always bring other people into the discussion. And so we'd get to our end of our sprint and we hadn't fully met our goals, our commitments to the business, because we got detracted by all those other things. And once you have somebody in your team that's a pleaser like that, everybody goes to them.
Oh, yeah.
So we did 2 things, and I like to call this cues and clues. What do you want to do and why do you want to do it? So we identified we created an awareness that this was a problem, and we created the visual cues. At the time this happened, it was an on-premise before COVID, but what we did is put up a sign that said no heroics in the sprint room. So we identified a problem, and there's more to it than that, obviously, but we identified a problem and started by creating a visual cue to remind us not to continue that habit. With Teams, you could do it in, virtual Teams, you could put something similar in your Teams meeting or your chat.
Subscribe to the podcast to get future episodes as soon as they're published. If you find this helpful, give the podcast a 5-star rating on your podcast app or hit that like button on YouTube.